story which is still developing is around the confirmation by the Hawks in the Free State that they have signed off on an arrest warrant for Ace Magashule, the Secretary-General of the ANC. They've confirmed on Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405 this afternoon, that he is now due to appear in court, in the Magistrate's Court in Mangaung on Friday. Zianda Ngobo, our senior political reporter, with us through the afternoon here as we go through all of these developments. All right, Zianda, one of the issues that we have to look at is what this is actually about. And what this seems to be about, and we've seen testimony of this in the Zondo Commission, is about Magashule's role in the Free State Asbestos scandal. This was an incredible project.
Most certainly, Stephen, and of course then, when you look at the testimonies that we've seen at the Zondo Commission and how they've implicated Ace Magashule, it would seem as though at every turn then you would have this Free State Premier at the time, that being Ace Magashule, having his hand or his tentacles spread out in various different projects. You'll remember that even when this matter appeared before court, Stephen, the issue was that, first of all, this Free State Asbestos project was never supposed to go ahead in the Free State, because it was meant to initially a project that was in Gauteng, and then it was then submitted after the actual date for tendering, and then when it did go ahead, it was overinflated in terms of the pricing, and then that's when you bring in Edwin Sodi, who was then paid out monies in different tranches, and then he went to go on to subcontract the contract, and then that subcontractor went on to further subcontract this asbestos project. And ultimately, this project was meant to have cost between 10 to 15 million rand, but then it actually ballooned to 255 million. And of course, when you read those court papers, you see the web of patronage, and it went all the way up to a national level. So of course, all spheres of government being involved in this. And as you've heard, someone like the NPSC Pomgwema saying that they're starting from the ground up. So finally, maybe South Africans will be satisfied that the so-called masterminds are going to be arrested.
We're joined now on the line by the leader of the United Democratic Movement, Bantu Holomisa. Mr. Holomisa, good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Your first reaction, please, to the news that the Secretary-General of the ANC now has an arrest warrant outstanding against him.
Well, we are not surprised about the pending arrest. We have had this before. But the pending arrest will no doubt send a signal to the rest of other comrades in corruption that at last our law enforcement agencies seem to have been freed to arrest and charge the wrongdoers. So we welcome this political will by the government. However, let the courts pronounce the last word. If I were to advise Ace Magashule in the spirit of non-interference, I would say, stand on your own, don't mobilize ANC members and so on, because you're going to create an unnecessary tension. Just go to court and go and answer for your sins. If you are acquitted, so be it.
You will know Ace Magashule, you will know his history, Mr. Holomisa. Do you really think that he's going to do that? Isn't this going to lead to a huge fight in the ANC?
No, it's just a brotherly advice. I don't want to argue much about that.
Okay. There is a much bigger question. We have not actually been in this space before, where someone in a sitting position like this in the ANC has been charged in this way. We certainly never had a Secretary-General charged in this way. Do you believe the system, and by which I mean all of the sort of link between prosecutions and politics, and we've seen a big link between them in this country, or lack of prosecutions rather, do you think this entire system is going to hold? Or are you expecting there to now be a lot of tension between our state and in terms of the National Prosecuting Authority and our politics in terms of Ace Magashule?
It's unfortunate for him because he was part of the resolution which was taken by the ANC in their conference to the effect that let us clean our administration, let's fight corruption. So if he is caught in that web, he cannot blame anybody. And until such time, people like Zwane and others who are involved in all these shenanigans, then the public at least will begin to take the African National Government, ANC government, seriously. So I don't think people must jump to politicize everything. The facts are there. Let the court present them to the nation.
You say that the facts are there, you need the court to present them to the nation. But there's another question, and you are, of course, a leader of an opposition party, but you have your own history within the ANC. Can the ANC actually survive a situation where its Secretary-General does not step down and goes to court while facing these charges?
Well, I don't think Asbestos said he's not going to stand down. I think they have got a policy which they have adopted recently, which says if you are implicated, you should step aside. So he's part of the top 6, which has to implement that policy. It's going to be good if you were to step down for a while and until the case has been finalized as per their resolution. That on its own will serve as a lesson to the other comrades who are still caught up in the corruption stew.
There's a lot more to come now. There's a lot of conversations that are going to happen now. Are you expecting there to be more pressure on the ANC? I mean, we're talking about a situation in which the Hawks confirm that they want to arrest the Secretary-General of the governing party. There are by-elections in 90 municipalities tomorrow.
It doesn't matter, man. The sky is not going to fall. The Hawks and NPA have already confirmed that the warrant of arrest is issued. So the process has started.